I want to talk about a secret of mine. Maybe it cannot be considered a secret, but only people very close to me, such as my close friends, know. I feel like I owe everybody an apology. For many years, I said a lot of things. I usually said to the people who know I am a lesbian, I am not a lesbian. I am not like girls. It's just like the people I like happen to be girls. However, that's all lies. Because the reality is that I am a lesbian, and my real sexual orientation is a girl. From the time I was born, a saying kept circling around me. My parents always thought that my mother was carrying a boy. My name is more of a boy's name in China. I have an older sister who is 7 years older than me, which means that my parents have two daughters. In China, the preference for sons over daughters is a very common feudal idea, although my father didn't show much of this, only occasionally joking about having a boy with my mother. His desire to be with his son could be reflected in his parenting of me. He would often raise me as a son. The gender imbalance in the family, as well as my personality towards the characters of a boy. So I have a kind of I should be a boy illusion. So homosexuality started in me because I thought I should be a boy, and that's what made me think I liked the girls. However, then I was slowly adjusting to my gender, and gradually I realized it didn't seem to be entire because of that. I grew up in a good family environment. My family is okay, and my parents' relationship is not too bad, but not very loving. My father loves drink, and although it is also a business social must, still can see that he is gluttonous wine. Often a drink will be drunk. Mom often, because of this, headache, and dad quarrels. Almost all the family arguments were because of dad's drink. With the subtle amount of this quarrel, I'm much less likely to find a male partner. I feel that boys had a lot of bad habits and that being with a boy would make my life a mess. In fact, that's when my sexual orientation was already pointed to girls. I have an older sister who has excellent grades and is praised by everyone. She is also very loving to me. She took care of me and made me feel that if a girl who was not related to me by blood was so good to me and could make me grow, I would choose to spend the rest of my life with her. My parents sent me to a boarding school at a very young age, so I spent most of my time at school with my four fellow teachers and classmates. This kind of education has brought me a lot of growth and has made me very independent and be able to take care of myself. And because of this, I later feel that I could take care of myself in the rest of life. I think I'd be just fine, if not better, without the boy with me. Not only that, but I have the ability to give the people I want to take care of a happy life. Plus, I think girls like boys because they can take good care of girls and shelter them from the rain. But why would I want to be with boys when I can take care of myself? And girls are so cute and pretty. How good would it be to be with them? This is at the same time a reflection of my sexual orientation. I know it's bad, but it's really part of my personality. I shouldn't discriminate against boys or feel that girls are the ones who should be taken care of. Actually, I had a relationship with a boy once. I had a terrible experience with him. This relationship took place during my elementary and middle school years. When I studied in elementary school, I was able to get along with everyone because of the advantages of my personality. Because I went to a boarding school, I was able to spend time with all of my friends and classmates, and I got along with everyone well. Gradually, a boy and I liked each other and established a relationship with each other. At first, we had a good relationship, but slowly I realized that he was very close to all of the girls and very disciplined. When I was sick or in a bad mood, wouldn't do anything to comfort me or make me feel at ease. Besides, he really lacks motivation and does not study seriously in school. Every day only knows how to play. Really also addicted to games. His own grades are a mess, but feel indifferent. Every time I argued him to study hard, he would act reluctantly and then tell me perfunctorily that he would go to study right away. We had meaningless fights over many small things. As a result, we both got into two different high schools, which created more problems due to the distance between the two sides. We no longer had patience for each other and stopped contacting each other for a long time, just like strangers. In this process of getting along with a boy, I found that I have a strong personality and guys can't stand it. And this ex-boyfriend of mine has a very soft personality, just like a girl. The two of us were getting flatter and flatter until we finally separated because we no longer had a good feeling for each other. I was shocked when in addition, until we broke up, I didn't know that he was a guy. He was a gay. I was shocked when I know this. Overall, it was a very unpleasant experience for me. But the intimacy with girls when I get along with them makes me look forward to spending the rest of my life with a girl. Later, boys and I could only be friends or develop a brother-like friendship. I no longer had any male or female information or sexual feelings for boys. Instead, I thought girls were the most beautiful thing in the world. Then later, I fell in love with my girlfriend. I realized that I really like girls. As we dated, our relationship got better and better. I became more convinced of the idea of being with a girl. So for my lies, I'm sorry. I have to admit, I just like girls. But when it came to my parents, I didn't know how to say it. As my self-awareness was elevated, questions came up about whether to come out to my parents, whether to get married, and a host of other issues. In their eyes, homosexuality is pathological and not accepted by the world. But in the two directions of whether to come out or get married, I would prefer to come out, which is also my inner thought, which is selfish to my parents. My coming out is to let my parents into the closet, but at the near of my parents, I would prefer to let my parents know the real me, not me I act out and expect them to accept me. And I would also try to satisfy my parents in other aspects to compensate for certain regrets. My current girlfriend and I have been together for almost 2 months now, but we needed to hide it from our family. Every time we go out, we have to lie to her parents under the name of another friend. We were afraid to open up to our parents about our relationship, even though we were almost 21 years old, because in the eyes of our parents and most people, homosexuality is a disease. We are not capable of living independently now, or because of the economic. So it makes our hearts full of guilty towards our parents. We were confident about the future we were going to face with each other, but full of fears about the questionable opposition of our families and disapproval of the society.